This video provides a quick tour for the CASA crowdsourcing application in the New Mexico Broadband Mapping Program. This application allows you to add a community anchor institution and to edit information for different institutions. In this video, we will look at the mapping interface. We'll find an address to see what's at that address. Then we'll add a new institution and edit information for that institution. The CASA crowdsourcing application opens with a box that gives you brief instructions for adding and editing information. Click OK to start using the application. This has standard mapping functions such as zoom in or out, pan, draw a box to zoom in or out. You can always return to full extent. Use your mouse wheel to zoom in or to zoom out. Left click and hold while you pan. And again, return to full extent to reposition the map to the original position. Currently, we have a base map that's the topographic selection. That's the default, but you can select any of these base maps that you want. Each of these icons represents a type of community anchor institution. So, medical health care, for example. These green library-like icons are for government community support. Editing layers allows you to edit. You can close it, however, and that makes it inactive, no editing. To open again, just select Editing Layers in the toolbar, and you'll know it's open always because of the yellow underline. We're going to find an address now and see what's at that address. I would like to see if a certain community center is in the CASA database. I'm going to enter a street address. In the upper right hand corner, find address box. I get several options. One of these is northeast and I know my address is southeast. One is 502, another 501. I know that I want 501 southeast. I'll select that one and the map automatically zooms into this location. I don't see any institution symbol here. I can pan around, look in various places, and I don't see anything. So now we're going to add a new institution. I would like to add a government-funded community support institution, and that will be our community center. I select this in the Editing Layers box. Notice now I have the symbol for community support, government. I will put it here, and I see it's attached this type of institution to this address. Now I'd like to be sure it's where I want it, so I'm going to choose a different base map that gives me a bit of context for the background. So I chose Imagery with Layers. Here's the community center that I'm interested in. I know that this is the front door, but I've placed my icon up here. If I'm afraid of moving it until I've double-checked its location, I can always close Editing Layers, and that makes it inactive. So if I click on this, all I get is the information that would be there if I had completed it. Now we'll look at editing that institution. In this case, we're going to move it, and then we'll add information for it. I need my editing layers open so that it's active. I'm going to click on the icon now. I get all the fields that I can fill in with information, but I don't want to do that until I've put it in the correct place. So I will close this and see that I have a crosshair as I hover over that icon. I can click and drag this to the front door of the institution. Now, if I click on it, I can add information. So this is Manzano Mesa Multi-Generational Center. The address I already have. City is Albuquerque, that was part of the address. State, website if they have one. And now if I happen to know information about the broadband services, internet speeds, I can add that here. If I actually worked at this facility, managed it, I might know all of this information and then fill it in. And if somebody's looking to see if they have public access to internet at this center, they would be able to click on that location, on that icon, and see the broadband services available to them. I'm not going to complete all of that now. I'll say OK. I'm going to return to full extent. It still has its yellow halo. Now it's covered, but we did see that it's still there. I'm going to zoom in a bit till I start to see that one again. I can see the yellow halo here. I'll zoom in a bit more. Because editing layers is still open, this is still active. So in order to not change it, now that I've put it where I'd like it, I'm going to close this box. Now I can click. I remember that this is its location, and I see that I have the name of the center, the address. Any other information I fill in will show up also. I can zoom to this automatically because I'm zoomed out so much. Now we're going to look at other tools in the application. So I can perform a speed test through this tool. This will let me choose what type of location I have. If I'm doing this from home, I can do a speed test for my home internet connectivity. I can provide feedback, and earlier I put an icon in a location that was entirely wrong. So what I will do is use feedback to let the people who manage this database know that they need to remove that. I can also print this map. Whatever view I've set up, I can print and give it a name. I can get to the user guide through help. And again, I always have my standard mapping tools available to me. So in this video, we looked at the CASA crowdsourcing application, the mapping interface. We found an address to see what was there, decided to add a new institution at that address, and then we edited that institution. Remember that when you're editing layers, box is open, anything you do with an icon will have an action. So if you want to just explore, be sure to close your editing layers box. Thank you.